be the reason that you lose. Don't let pride be the reason that you lose.
What's up, y'all? This is the Plain Black Rapper Podcast, and I'm your host, Nytelife. Thank you so much for joining me today for episode 64, Weaponizing Greatness. Thank you for joining the last two pods. It was very important for us to be able to get 62 and 63 out there and amongst the people. Really great response to Nathan Dill's appearance on the podcast to talk about mental health and anxiety. We think we turned a lot of heads with the message that was with that. And there was people that resonated with and that reached out in regards to that. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for appreciating that content and using that content as some motivation and let people know that they're not alone with their struggles with mental health and anxiety. So we'll be doing a lot more of the one-on-ones with the pod and finding little pockets of situations where it's going to apply and benefit people that listen and watch. So thank you so much. Please subscribe to the YouTube. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify. We are on Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. So please make sure that you subscribe, you follow, you share, you comment, you like, you just whatever it is that you have to do to be able to support. Thank you. Up in the right-hand corner, you will see a QR there. You're more than welcome to scan that. That is the Plain Black Rapper Podcast merchandise, Nytelife merchandise. You can get some gauntlet stuff on there. Anything that I'm involved in, 4-bar loop, you know what I'm saying, which will be making a swift return soon. It's there, so you can support any way you want. Buy a shirt, buy a hat, buy a sticker, buy a water bottle, whatever it is that you want to buy to be able to support this podcast and be able to support the things for Mitchell Media Review. I really appreciate it. It's all going to be going back into the actual broadcasts and just promotional things that we need to do to keep this channel going. So thank you so much. Getting into the topic at hand. Episode 64, Weaponizing Greatness. Now, the breakdown between weaponizing greatness can be in 3 slots. You can be a bystander, you can be a tool, or you can be a weapon. Now, it's interesting to make the distinction of that. And I know sometimes it is hard because we inhabit all 3 sections, and we do that in life a majority of the time. I don't think that there's nobody that doesn't inhabit any of these sections or all of these sections in the course of a day, a week, a month, a year, a lifetime for that matter. It could be anything. So the bystander has its pluses. You can be an observationalist. You can watch and study others make mistakes and go behind them and apply what you've seen to become successful. It helps you to avoid trial and error. You've seen somebody else bump their head or bust their ass on something, then it helps you to be able to go, okay, I don't want to step in that hole. Let me go ahead and go around this. Thank you to them for showing me the pathway to get over and above it and not have to go through that. Now I have a shorter path to success because I followed a different trajectory than the pitfalls and trials and tribulations that they had on their path. You can also be a bystander that watches just to see it unfold, giving unwarranted opinions and gossip. You see others doing better and you hate in attempts to undercut their success, being bitter instead of better, as they say. Your contribution is nothing in real time. It's nothing. You are just a person with an opinion. Your opinion does not hold any weight in the grand scheme of other people doing things. Some people are more sensitive than others to be able to listen to those opinions and want to fight back at those opinions. This is what social media is founded on. You do that. Anybody with a keyboard, with a phone, with an iPad, with a watch can comment and say what they don't like about what someone did, who someone is, what someone's about, how someone looks, how someone approaches things, how someone does their job, how someone competes in sports. It's so broad, but anybody anywhere can comment. It's open season. And when you got so many people that want to provide feedback and wants to tell their story and provide judgment in your situation, that it gets messy. And nothing really comes of it but a fight or flight mentality for the person that's under fire. It really either is going to sharpen your tool or it's going to make you a really dull and bitter person, and you're going to want to fight everybody online, which is impossible. It's impossible. These people don't even have faces and names and live in places and stuff like that. Some of these people are just bots. Like, it's just not really, it's not realistic for you to want to, I'll fight everybody up in here. You know, that mentality, the drunk dude in the bar who stands up after he had 27 drinks and talk about he'll fight everybody in this motherfucker. And this don't work that way. It don't work. It's not plausible. Now we can get into the situation of the tool, right? The tool is exactly what it sounds like. You use for the benefit of others, and it's very broad. We're tools for who we work for, used to provide a function for the greater whole of the business. That's us. We're the cogs and the spokes on the wheel. We're the tools for people to lean on when they're going through things. Sometimes we are tools of knowledge and resource. We are mined for that. People want your opinion. What's your thoughts? How would you approach this? What steps did you take to be able to get XYZ? Where did you go to get this? How did you end up getting that? That's being a tool. You're a reference tool. You're a resource tool. But you're a tool. You're being used. But the other side of that, there's a usefulness for a tool, and then there's exploitation of a tool. Emotionally, physically, mentally, and financially can be exploited. Sometimes we just use to mentally like prop up vain people when they have esteem issues. You like the quick hit of dopamine for them. You're so beautiful. You're so smart. You're so great. Not the compliments aren't cool, but we just, you know, when people are fishing for them when their battery is low, it's kind of whack. They'll mine you for these affirmations because they think, you know, they just mine you for them because they can't do them themselves. They can't develop affirmations and believable affirmations for themselves. So they need to mine them from you. They need to exploit you. They need to be able to have you tell them to make them feel better about themselves. And once they fill their battery back up, they are out until that battery is low again. And then they're knocking on your door with meaningless conversation. When they ain't talked to you, they ain't asked about you. They don't know how you doing, whatever. It's immediately about them. And it's immediately about trying to do a rebuild through you to make themselves feel better, which is kind of garbage. Physically and financially, sometimes it disguises help me. Asking repeatedly for money, expertise, labor for free because you're a friend, in quotes. We're friends. You got to help me. We're friends, right? They know you want to help them. They know you want to help them. We look at these moments and say, you know, that's my folks, so I'm going to take care of them regardless. And I get that. And there are people that you can take care of that will take care of you. But that's the caveat. If you take care of them, they have to take care of you. And a lot of times, the people that are there in those situations that are in the help me situations don't take care of you in return. There's no appreciation. There's no reciprocation. They ain't checking on you. Hey, I just wanted to see if you was good. They don't even like emotionally try to be able to pay you back for the things that you've done for them. Hey, I really appreciate you doing what you did for me, man. You really helped me out a lot. So I just want to say that. I try to make sure that I'm mindful enough to be able to appreciate those people that do things for me. No matter how little they are, I try to make sure that they know, hey, I appreciate it. Because ultimately, it creates a balance. People know that they're respected. People know that they are understood. People know that they are loved. People know that they are really valued in those situations because you appreciate them doing things for you. And in turn, you appreciate them. I mean, they'll appreciate you doing things for them. The weapon is probably the most resourceful one, but can also hurt people. The weapon can be used to protect, compete, hunt, or hurt. The weapon can be ambition, drive, pride, desire, obsession, motivation, a goal, or a mission. We aim ourselves and we fire what we want. It's everything or nothing. Nothing can get in the way. Gotta have it, all or nothing. Period. The weapon can also cut down, pressure, use, alienate, and trigger greed. We use whoever we want, whatever, and whoever it is that's there for us to be able to win. The weapon will hurt you so bad if you stand in their way of getting the things that they want. Especially if they're obsessed with getting with the things they want, they will go right through you. Don't care. You're collateral damage at that point. You either with me on my side, but if you in my way, I'm right over the top of you and I'm running through you. I'm just running through your face over and over and over and over again, like Beast Mode said. That's what happens. Where do we land on all these principles? Just like I said at the beginning, I think we all land in all three. I don't think no human is above any of these things because we've all done it. And sometimes the exploitation of others is minimal, but it's done. Sometimes the mining for compliments is minimal, but it's done. Sometimes we stand by and we criticize and we stand on our perch and we throw out opinions about people, about things. Maybe done in a minimal fashion, but it's done. That's just what it is. And it's up to you to decide in real time how these moments are affecting you, affecting your relationships, affecting your path to be able to get to what you need to get to. So you can make those adjustments. So you can find a way to feel better. You can find a way to be more effective, more intentional. It's up to you. If you can develop those things, you can identify those things. The ceiling is just infinite. You'll never have to worry. You just keep excelling. You just will keep excelling. Nothing will stop you. Now, quickly enough, I think I wanted to talk about one more thing. Please understand that in the course of your life, I know we have it in our minds that so many things can happen through so many avenues. But in regards to execution, you cannot hope your way. You cannot pray your way. You cannot wish your way. You cannot hate or cheat your way to execution. Execution is a you thing. It's you. You can't, there's no possible way that you can wait for execution. You have to do that. Determination, focus, pride, dedication, endurance, belief, positivity. Be willing to make change and it will make effort become effortless. Seriously, that's what it will be. You must become a machine that works in concert in spite of all challenges. In order for you to take on anything that you need to take on, you have to be focused. I was thinking about that, and I kind of developed a little thing for myself that I use when I feel like I'm kind of getting outside of what I normally do. It's called the Piper method. Purpose, intention, planning, execution, and repetition. Purpose. Purpose is your why, reasoning, directive, and foundation. The North Star that is out there for you. Destination is the most important part of the journey. We got to know where we're going and know why we're going. Intention. Stating what your objective and motives are to get where you're going. The core principles and bylaws. It's the I will or mission statement, your constitution and framework. It's your personal belief system and structure. It's the things that you stand on to be able to get you where you need to go. Those founding principles that align you with where you're going. Planning is pretty much self-explanatory. What you will need to get there, what tools, what resources, what methods, what experiments, what calculations need to be made. What materials and finances are needed? What are the pitfalls and possible problems? What past failures can we apply to succeed this time? That's all part of planning. Laying out the blueprint, laying out the directions, laying out the steps, following those things along until you get to where you're going. Then it's back to our old friend execution. What have you done to get there? Just do it. Get that shit done, period. Just get it done. It's not going to do itself. You can talk about all of these big plans and what you decide to do and how you draw up all of these things. But if you don't carry any of it out, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a bunch of stuff that you wrote down and don't mean shit. Period. So that planning must be followed by execution to either get the pass or fail. And then repetition. I did it. Now it's time to do it again and again and again and again and again. That is Piper. Those are principles. Those are reasons that I have to lean on when things are not going well for me. When I forget and when things get out of control. And understanding that you are not designed for multi-purpose use. Things are done in steps. You don't eat and drink at the same time. You take a bite, you take a sip. You take a bite, you take a sip. It may not be in that order, but you have to do those. You can't do those things at the same time. And that's the problem with multitasking. It's like you are trying to be an octopus of focus, pretty much. You got a TV going, you got your phone scrolling through Instagram. You got music playing in the background. You're trying to hold a conversation with somebody. All of these things happening at the same time, you're going to miss something. This is what I struggle with. When a lot of things are happening to me at work at the same time, that's when I miss stuff. I'm trying to reply to every email, fix every problem, deal with all my day-to-day stuff, answer questions that need to be answered that don't even need to be answered at that particular time. They can wait. Nothing's on fire. Nobody is going to die. But I want to be the first one to answer the question or reply to the email or do all of this stuff. And I'm trying to do all of these things at the same time and trying to put out fires. You have to approach each thing as one. And you can only do one and complete one at a time. It hurts you when you're trying to multitask. I make mistakes with this podcast. I make mistakes with music, trying to multitask. I'm doing things and I want to be able to get everything done. It's like I had to create a whole checklist for myself for just releasing these podcasts. There's so many steps. There is the actual recording of the podcast, editing, and then after the editing, there is downloading it. There's downloading and then editing it. And then after the editing process, we have to go ahead and post it here, post it there, make the clips to be able to promote. And there's so many steps that's inside those steps that need to be completed. And sometimes you get ahead of yourself. So you're trying to do all these things and then you end up putting something in the wrong place, missing something in the editing process, doing something wrong. Same thing with recording music. Once you get into that process of trying to, like with times where I'll record and I'll go, okay, well, I can just do some little editing right now while I'm recording. So that way it'd be easier in my mixing process. But it takes away from your concentration of doing what you need to do at that particular time. Your objective was not to mix. Your objective was not to edit. Your objective was to record at that particular time. And you need to stay focused with that. And when you don't do that, things get sloppy. You lose quality. You lose control. You lose identity. You lose passion. You lose that because you're exhausted. You're stretching your mind and your capabilities so far and spreading yourself so thin that you're going to lose things and they're going to fall in the cracks. It happens every time. That's why I'm not the best multitasker, and I never will be the best multitasker. I hate multitasking. I hate it. My wife gets on me all the time about it because she feels like you can't do two things at once. I certainly cannot. I can't do two things at once. Sorry. I need my total focus on what it is in front of me. If I'm watching a movie, I'm watching a movie. If I am playing a game, I'm playing a game. If I'm watching the game, I'm watching the game. If I'm doing music, I'm doing music. That's my focus. I don't like my focus broken with anything. Now, if we need to talk, I'll stop and talk to you. If we're watching a movie, then we can talk about that movie in the course of that. That makes sense because we are in real time going through that moment. But if we're in the process of doing that and we start talking about work, we start talking about something going on with the house, we're going to have to pause the movie because we can't. I'm not focused on that. I'm not listening. I will just white noise everything. When I'm focused and I have my stuff, I'm locked in, I white noise everything. I don't hear nothing nobody saying. I don't. And I know that's dangerous. I get it, but this is how I'm made up. And some people are made up like that, man. Just I'm here, I'm locked into this. This is my thing. Please leave me alone until I'm completed. Or let me stop what I'm doing to be able to turn and give you my undivided attention. So that way I can be my best self for you in that moment to listen. Because I'm not listening if I'm engaged in things. That's just the way I'm built. Maybe I'm a little off in the head. I don't know. But I'm built that way. And I think we all have our little quirks and problems and stuff like that. But I just think that focus is one by one. It's this is in front of me, handle this, then on to the next thing, then on to the next thing. Why do you think checklisting is so dope for me? Because I can get one thing done, move to the next. Get one thing done, move to the next. I build up confidence. I build up, my cachet with my responsibility. And I have something to measure. Like at the end of all of that, man, I did all of this today. I checked all these boxes today. That's dope. It's not, I did them all at the same time. I don't checklist like that. And I damn sure don't live like that. I can't. I'm not good at it. Some people are amazing at it. I'm just not good at it. And people are like, oh, well, you don't try. And it's like, you don't have these methods and I'm not, maybe I'm just not high caliber enough to be able to do it like that. But I need to be one by one, take it done. And it gives me a moment to be able to just take a break, to breathe, to analyze, to complete. It gives me moments to do that. Multitasking does not. Multitasking keeps it's constant motion. It's constant chaos. It's, oh, you're trying to do this here, do this there, and you're dealing with two different people. That's how you end up sending the wrong text messages to the wrong people. That's how you end up, missing certain things, missing certain steps and stuff, not fully reading stuff. Hey, I sent that to you in the email. Did you see it? Oh yeah, I seen the email. Did you read? Well, let me go back and read it again. Oh damn, I cannot believe I even missed this whole part. Because I'm trying to multitask. I'm trying to do something else. We're not built for that. We're not equipped for that. And if you are equipped for that, golf clap for you, not me. I know what my limitations are. I'm not afraid of them. I just understand that I need to have things lined up, to knock things down, to take things off my list, to feel better. That provides me a lot of comfort. That provides me a lot of just, relief when those things are done. They're done. I don't have to do them again today. Unless I screwed them up and I have to go back and fix it. That happens. All right, y'all. So we are coming to a close. So thank you for joining me for the Plain Black Rapper podcast. Please make sure you subscribe, you follow, you like the Apple podcast, the Spotify podcast that we post, watch and hear, comment. If it's good, it's bad, it's different, indifferent, say something. Let's talk about it. I don't mind. But I've taken up enough of your day. So I'll leave you with this. Difficult roads often lead to most beautiful destinations. Shoot your shot, go for the win. You might make it. Peace.